What's good, everybody? Dynamite here, and I'm going to explain why I sold my 2016 Ducati Monster 1200. Stay tuned. As you all may know, judging from my Instagram post, I just sold my 2016 Ducati Monster 1200. But just because I sold the bike, that does not mean I'm giving up on riding. That's not what it's all about. I'm not giving up on riding at all. It's just that I'm getting ready for my next riding journey for my next bike coming soon, if possible. But it may take some time to get a new bike. But don't get me wrong. I mean, the Monster 1200, it was a fun bike to ride. It was a fun little bike. I mean, you can go around corners. You can go on a straight line. You can commute on it if you want to. But for me, as far as trying to do a long trip, as long rides, it's unbearable to ride for long distance riding. So that was one of the reasons why I sold the bike. And I was looking for something that's more comfortable for long rides. I want to do lots more things on a bike that this bike could not. Now, I had this bike for about, well, around 4 years, but it's been fun. But, sometimes all good things must come to an end. Trying to find me another bike. Want to do a lot more things other than just riding around town, and I want to do some long distance riding, like I said before, probably. I want to do a lot more. I want to do some moto camping, and I want to see the country, the country that I live in, see the different states, go long journeys if I wanted to. But yeah, that's what really I wanted to do. I want to do, to trying to improve more on this channel. As far as doing different things like such as motor camping, like I mentioned before, and all this and that. So with that said, would I buy a Ducati Monster 1200? Another Ducati Monster 1200? Probably not, because I kind of pretty much grew out of the naked sport bike scene. I'm looking at other types of bikes, such as like baggers. I was originally wanted to get a bagger, and then I got bitten by the ADV bug, and now I'm currently looking at ADV bikes right now. I've been looking at ADV bikes for the last several years now. And as well as possibly looking at some sport tours as well. But I'm more focused on the ADV bikes because they're more comfortable. You can sit upright. You can carry everything except for the kitchen sink, of course. And you can do long journeys and long distances on those type of bikes. But don't get me wrong, you can do it on a sport tour too. But I think the ADV bike is more for me as far as my riding style is concerned. I've been looking at ADV bikes for the last several years. I mean, I've looked at some from Ducati, Triumph, who else? BMW, and recently Harley Davidson. So they came out with the Pan America. I really like that bike. I mean, that bike was pretty cool. It's got a few missing things that it doesn't have that most bikes do, but yeah. But I also checked out bikes from through KTM. I never ridden those yet. I mean, and as well as Moto Guzzi. Yeah, they got the V85 TT, which is the cheapest one that I've looked at. So yeah, although I never ridden the V4 before. I've ridden the 1260S before. Ducati Multistrada 1260S, but I never ridden the V4 before. But for what I hear, that bike is pretty smooth. It's smoother than that L Twin, which is kind of a bit rough around the edges as far as I'm concerned. But to each their own. But I might check out the V4 if when I get a chance. Hey Ducati, hook me up with a V4, man, so I can ride it. But I also like to see the new Tiger 1200 for 2022 from Triumph. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. I mean, spy shots of it. I think it looks pretty awesome. I mean, it probably a styling take after the GT 900. I think it's gonna look a lot better than the GT 900 or Rally Pro, whatever the case may be. But anyway, yeah. But I also follow other channels, that deals with moto camping, such as Tim Collins from FTA Adventures, Amanda Zito from As the Magpie Flies, Her Two Wheels, just to name a few. I mean, I've pretty much so far learned a lot on how they do moto camping and how to get to a campsite or whatever the case may be. But it takes a lot of learning to get all that moto camping down pat. So yeah. So yeah, that was the reason why I sold the bike. I said, hey, it's like people like, man, why you sold the bike, man? That was a good bike, man. I was like, hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, so to make yourself happy. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, you know what to do. It's YouTube. Go to the protocols, hit like, subscribe, and share whatever the case may be. Until next time, this is Don and Maine. Keep it safe, keep it up. Deuce! And I'll see you next time. Later.